So this is brief about Refer Me Group, and the trainer is Gaurish. And if I mean, I have not made any kind of presentation here, but in Refer Me Group, we have trained more than 500 plus professionals, right? And out of 500, 408 are working as a business analyst now. I mean, they have changed their career as a business analyst. And when I'm saying any number, so we have a proof of each and every uh, chat, and each and everything is here, right? People who have changed their career. And it was not possible if Gaurish was not a trainer, believe me, because the way he teaches, the way he handle the class, the way he resolve or help the people to change their career as a business analyst, or people from multiple background, not only software testing, but people from sales. I mean, literally, like if you get a call, like I'm selling this card, are you interested? So those kind of a people have changed their career as a business analyst. How it was done, and what was their perspective initially, and how they have changed their career. So today we will discuss all those things about. And I would request to each one of you, please ask the question, because this is the forum that gives you an opportunity to learn and to know about the things. So I welcome Gaurish on this forum. And I would like to say thank you to Snehal, who is a training head in Refer Me Group and coordinated each and everything from end to end. So thank you so much, Snehal, and thank you, Gaurish. Over to you.
Hey, thank you. So thanks a lot, Nitesh and Snail, for coordination. Overall, we have a smaller group today, which gives us more opportunity to interact better and understand things and take questions from all the participants. This is how I take it. Even before we make a start, I'll quickly introduce myself and then we can deep dive. Certainly. Yeah, my name is Gaurish Loya, and I'm working as a senior business analyst in one of the Swiss banks based in Singapore. So I've worked with a lot of big banks in Pune, especially like HSBC, Citibank, Credit Suisse, DBS. And a couple of years back, I moved to Singapore for some long-term assignment. As a business analyst, like I've been into banking and maybe majorly into regulatory reporting projects for APAC and global level regulators, as well as in digital banking, capital markets, and wealth management projects also. How I started as a trainer, basically, like I had some of my colleagues who were from different background, and even I was into testing that time. Somehow I wanted to move to business analysis, so I did certain things on my own, but then things did not work out. Talking with a lot of people, doing some sort of trainings, but then things are not available in one shot as a business analyst. But then I started helping out my colleagues, and one fine day they told me like, why don't you start training people and helping people who are from different background and maybe they want to get it into the BA role with a mix of real-time experience, bookish knowledge, plus everything that is needed in one package solution, which is not offered by anybody else, so like institutes and others. So this is how the journey started. So overall, I like training people as a business analyst, understanding your background as an individual, then try to see how we can customize a particular profile. Where is a person lacking, and how can we shape that particular profile as a business analyst, or how can we train that particular as a business analyst and make them transition. So the goal is to understand an individual and then make a move, rather than just teaching the things and we are done. So it's not like that. So basically we try to understand who is the person, what are the possibilities that we can do, and how can we take this further. So this is how generally it starts. So I believe you guys are here to understand what are the possibilities of becoming a business analyst, how to move as a business analyst. So the first question that comes to my mind is, are you guys aware about the role of a business analyst, or why do you want to become a business analyst? So anybody would like to give it a shot? The question is open to the entire forum, and I like the sessions to be very, very interactive. So anybody would like to give it a shot? What is the role of a business analyst? Do you know what is the role or anything? Anyone? Anyone would like to try? Looks like no. So can I assume you guys know the role of a business analyst? Can I assume that way?
I mean, guys, this is a webinar, right? And if you are investing your time here, so please open up and speak. Otherwise, this will be a kind of a Netflix session, which you are just came here and just watch the thing.
And I do not have anything called as presentation. So the sessions are more interactive. And as a BA, the more you talk, the better are the discussions and the better BA you could become. So if you cannot talk, you will never ever become a good business analyst. Still no one? Okay, I see at least one comment. Please explain. Okay, I'll come to that. Anybody else who would like to explain? Okay, if you're not comfortable in talking, at least you can chat. Looks like Saturday afternoon. People are crazy after lunch. Nobody wants to talk, is it?
Shall I give a try, Gaurish?
Yeah.
So as a BA, basically we have to understand if there is any requirement or
Mm-hmm.
our stakeholder wants to do any
Hai
change
hai,
in the
देखो
current process.
देखो देखो
Mm-hmm.
देखो देखो बेट को देखो.
Others could please go on mute. Yeah.
So as a BA, I would like to understand from my stakeholder what changes they are looking
Mm-hmm.
to bring in the current process or the current system to get the desired outcome, maybe due to the regulatory change or the customer requirement changes.
Mm-hmm.
So the stakeholder comes with a with the requirement, and as a BA we have to understand and interact with him, like what exactly he's looking for a change. So as a BA I have to understand his I have to get into his shoes and try to understand that what exactly he's looking for a change, and accordingly I can detail the requirement, and subsequently I can discuss with the downstream team to get the relevant changes done.
Okay. So in layman terms, a business analyst is a person who interacts with the client. Now, client could be anyone. It could be some bank, it could be some e-commerce company, some financial services company, healthcare company, any customer, right? Okay. They have some requirements to be implemented, basically some software requirements. They want to develop some sort of application, app, software, something like that. So you are a business analyst who interacts with them. You try to understand what are the requirements, what do they want, how do they see this particular application. So you are the one who need to gather the requirements, understand those requirements, refine them, document them in such a way that the high level requirements that the customer has given, you break it down into such a low level that you complete till validations also. Okay, so everything that is talked at a very high level. For example, a client says, I want a login page. Now, under login page, there could be a lot of things. You want to log in with username, password, you want to log in with Facebook, Google, whatever you want to have. You want to log in with OTP. What is it that a customer wants? So you have to discuss with him. How do you see this function? How do you define this function? What are the rules for it? What are the conditions for it? You gather everything, document all those things, then you refine it, each of them into simple specifications that this should happen, that should happen, all the scenarios related to that, and then you pass it on to your developers and testers or maybe technical team, clarify their doubts if any, and then get this implement and then hand it over to the client. So a BA acts as a single point of contact for the entire technical team as well as from your client team. So he has to interact with both the parties and keep everything in sync. So a business analyst should know how to talk with the stakeholder, understand what they are trying to say. At the same time, he should have a little bit of technical expertise, like understanding how systems work, how softwares work, so that he can communicate very well with the development team, testing team. Also, he might have to interact with testers just to see if the requirements are correct or not, whatever has been implemented, and then connect back to the team of your stakeholders just to confirm back the same. Whatever was required is now implemented, and if there are any new requirements, we can again start the same life cycle. So this is what is the role of a business analyst. Okay. Any questions on this so far from anyone? Okay. Now, even before stepping into other questions, maybe let's open up the forum. Maybe you guys anybody can go one by one and can tell me what background are you from? Maybe just a quick introduction and maybe a quick overview, like exactly what you do, so that it helps me to understand why are you here, what exactly are you expecting as a business analyst. Anyone?
Hi, Tushar, this side here.
Yeah, hi Tushar. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
please. What exactly you do? Can you tell us?
So
And
I
why do
am
you
ex-
become a
I,
business
I am
analyst?
working as a business analyst, senior business analyst in V5 Soft. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Since my company is going to get sunset in some time, I am open into the job market hunt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
as I look into the opportunities, so
Mhm.
this nowadays what's happening, they are asking, means they are looking for a candidate who is having the skill set of scrum master as well
Mhm.
as the product owner, as a
Mhm.
business analyst also,
Mhm.
and sometimes you can say the project management
Mhm.
skills they are looking into.
Mhm.
So I am having the second thought, am I my skill sets which I acquired over the period of
Mhm.
time uh, are not up to the level of
Mhm.
today's industry standard. Okay,
Mhm.
so I have joined here to get to know the idea about, am I lacking in something, or do I have to work on anything else apart from what I currently possess, the skill set. So that's why I have joined this.
Okay, that's fine, absolutely fine. So the question that you've asked is correct. So as a business analyst, definitely whatever skill set that you would be having, that is pretty much okay, I would say, as a role of a business analyst. But then when you have a little good experience, for example, 7, 8, or 9 or 10 years of experience, these days people want you to take up other roles also. For example, it could be Scrum Master, or eventually they would expect you to move as a business, this also. What is that?
Also
Project
another.
manager.
Yeah.
Project manager. So ideally, along with BA, as a primary skill, you will have to take up another role. So it's basically kind of reducing the cost plus, like, utilizing your resources to the fullest. So that is the new trend. So now you have to decide the BA will remain as it is. Like, the BA part that you would be doing, it would remain as it is. But then you might have to pick up another role. Either it could be in Scrum or it could be in project management in majority of the cases. But then if you are having some good domain expertise, whether it's banking or, like, anything within banking domain, then you can stick as a business analyst itself, no problem at all. But then you will have to look for opportunities like that. But then somewhere, somehow, you will have to take this role, or, like, eventually transition. This is what happens, right? Let's say you start as a fresher or something, and one fine day you want to become a project manager, right? This is everybody's aspiration, I believe, majority of us, like,
Certainly.
whoever starts in the IT industry. So this is how career transition happens when you reach at an experience level of 7, 8, or 10 years, and all of a sudden you see that you will have to change your role along with your existing skill set. So either accept it, if not, then you will have to look for something which is in your particular domain only. But then accepting it, I think, makes sense, because in today's date, if you have dual skill, or, like, maybe improving on your skill set, that creates a dependency on for any company in your projects, or whatever you call it. So ideally that has to be embraced.
Right. Thank you.
All right, yeah. So this is one thing. Okay. Anybody else would like to go with any questions, any introduction, any your current role, and why what do you expect from the role of a business analyst? You guys are here, so there must be a reason, right? Why you are here. So you can put up your questions. Anyone? Guys, you need to talk. There's an unmute button in your Zoom. You have to do that.
Yeah, hi, this is Shikha.
Yeah,
And
hi, Shika.
actually, I belong to compliances background.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, I have done data analysis and I'm open for something like business analysis and data analysis. Business analysis, of course, because I have a fair amount of like 3 years of experience into the business, the compliances, and you know what
Mm-hmm.
the business requirements works like and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I'm open to that. And like how much would it be a problem for me because I have a 8 years of gap?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, how much I could myself think that I am a fit
So
for this?
as of now, are you working or you're not working?
I'm actually freelancing. I'm not really working, but I'm freelancing on a couple of projects that is related with the content creation.
Mm-hmm.
That has actually not anything to do with the data analysis.
No, it's not necessary. See, the point is, as a business analyst, you can get into it because you have already done like, some industry experience in the past. Now the thing is, because you were into compliance, so I believe it was in banking and financial services, is it, or what? What compliance did you work into?
No, that was actually into legal and statutory compliances. But then I
Mm-hmm.
guess that is one experience that give you a very good knowledge of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the attention to detail and the specific requirements and, you know,
Yeah.
as in,
So
yeah.
certainly that experience could be leveraged and used, because that that gives you the business aspect or business sense, why is it needed, right? Now you need to put it into the tech fashion, or like, the IT fashion, because you've already done something into data and other thing. How systems are made, how this compliance is, or any kind of compliance or regulatory things, how they are transformed into the systems, or how can that be implemented. So that aspect would be covered as part of business analysis. This is pretty much doable. Now coming to the other question that you have a gap of 8 years. That's absolutely fine. I won't say no to it. I mean, certain companies might resist, certain companies would be okay to accept it. Okay, these are the two possibilities. Now, as you have
Okay.
said, like, you are doing something on freelancing. If you have some proper evidence, like, you've been working for this long and this long up from for this client or this particular thing, unless and until you are able to justify, things should be okay. If you cannot justify, then that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have previous documentation, maybe salary slips or whatever you call it, and in current level also, if you have anything that you're working with someone or this company or that company supporting a particular client, if you are able to justify this should be okay, not a problem.
Okay. What if, that is all fine, like you said? Like, what if I'm just starting? I just keep whatever I have done.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
keep that all aside, and
Mm-hmm.
I just start fresh right now. So how much
Okay.
I would be, acceptable, being a 37-year-old candidate and have
No,
no
that's
prior.
absolutely fine. Age and other things, that's okay. That has got nothing to do with it ideally. Okay, you can start as intermediate or a junior resource, I would say.
Okay.
Ideally, okay, you'll have to make a start from scratch. But then in terms of pay and other thing, I won't be able to promise anything like, no, you will get this much and that much. So everything
Absolutely.
has to be taken from scratch. I mean, that's the
Yes.
willingness that you should have.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I'm willing to do that way.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah, yeah, that can be taken up in that fashion then because you can simply say I had a career gap of 7 or 8 years, but then I again wanted to come back as a career, so I did certain trainings and other things, and I think I can do it now. So this is how
Okay.
you will have to pitch. Plus the older experience that you have, so of course you have to leverage that, right? This is
Yes.
what will give the confidence to the employer. Okay, she has done in the
Mhm.
past, and certainly everybody has a situation in life where they have to take a gap, maybe because of family or other things, and then yeah, again situation has come up where you have to take it up, take up to the next level of your career. So that is
Correct.
completely acceptable. I mean, I won't say 100% companies would accept it, but then at least there are 30-40% who are ready to accept it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for
Yeah,
the answer. Yeah.
yeah, no problem. Okay, anybody else who would like to take any questions? Any questions that we would like to have? Anyone else? Any other question that why you are here? What do you expect as a business analyst? Does anybody have this question? Looks like still the answer is no. Anyone else?
So, Tushar, Ashwin, Jatin, Rahul, Satya, Shailja, Shikha, Jayat, any question?
No, I guess this was the only question that I had, and
Okay,
yeah.
that's good. I was expecting that the session would be more. Yeah, somebody was saying something.
I was just acknowledging that my questions, I had some doubts that you already cleared, so
Mm-hmm.
nothing on my side at least.
Okay, that should be fine. You're already a business analyst, so I think
Thank
you
you.
just know things. Yeah. Okay, because I was expecting this to be a webinar where people will come and ask a lot of questions, what is expected and what is not. So that's okay, like if people are not talking, but then I can then simply go ahead, which I was not expecting to cover, but then yeah, maybe I like to cover it this way. So certainly as Refer Me as a group, we also help people train into the business analysis part, what we'll be covering and whatnot. I'll be explaining it to you. Although the intention was not to cover up that part, we were just trying to understand what are the people's expectation from business analysis side, who all are interested to get into business analysis, and what are the challenges they are facing or they would face, or anything that they would like to know more. This was the more of agenda as a part of this webinar, but then I think people do not have questions, which I would take it this way. So maybe I'll share, like what exactly are we going to cover as part of the training thing, in case if anybody wants to get into it. Okay, so we have designed our notes. Basically, they are from the IIBA syllabus itself. There are a lot of things that I've taken from there. Plus, there are a lot of things which are not written in any of the books, but then still they are used as a jargon, or those practices are still taken into consideration, which are not written in any book. So I'll be taking you through those concepts also. So initially, what we do is we start with the basic concepts of business analysis. Who is business analyst? There are certain models that need to be used. What is requirement? How do you classify those? Those are the things. Knowing your stakeholder. How do you do stakeholder management? What is business analysis, planning and monitoring? What are the different phases in that? What is requirement elicitation and collaboration, with some techniques and then real-time assignments and case studies that we do, where you end up writing actually a business requirement document. Then what are the life cycle of a requirement, and how do you assess the requirement or document the requirement? Then what are use case diagrams? What are process flow diagrams? We'll be studying those things also. Then what are user stories? And there are a few other chapters like, what is scope management, what is RAID, what is RACI metrics, what are rules and entitlements, how do you do data mapping, what is an upstream system, downstream system. These all concepts would be taken up. Along with this, when things move towards agile, we also cover the agile part. Okay, I think it is not open here. Also, what exactly agile is, or how you get into agile scrum framework, as if you have no idea. Everything would be taught from scratch, where you end up writing user stories in this kind of board, practicing it on your own. And then the basics of testing, basics of SQL also would be taken. Everything would be hands-on, so that you work as a complete business analyst and you do not miss out on any of the things that would be asked during interviews. Along with this, we do help in preparing your resume. If some projects are needed, we also give it to you depending upon an individual's profile. So that way it could be taken up and you can shape your profile. So sample resumes would also be shared, with the help of which you can write it down, and then I can sit one-to-one with you to refine your profile. And then we have created WhatsApp group for job posts, and you keep on applying for the job posts as well. So this is how generally we take our training programs, and there are a lot of people who have got benefit out of that, which I think Nitish was trying to show you in the initial 5 minutes. So this is how things are there as a business analyst. So you need a formal training for it. Once you are done with it, then you keep on learning things on your own eventually every now and then. And as Tushar mentioned, as he has reached a point where he's supposed to pick up something else like scrum master or project manager down the line. This is how you grow as a business analyst. Then you get into other sides of the business along with your basic skills. So this is what is a career life cycle of a business analyst as well. If somebody wants to stick as a business analyst, no doubt they can do that, but then it is always better that you grab multiple skills or you wear multiple hats in the entire life cycle, because what is happening today is what we know. In future, what will happen, nobody knows it. So it's better keep on upgrading every now and then. That's the best point that I think all of us should remember. Right. So this is it that I could help you with. If there are no questions, then I'm helpless. If you have questions, definitely I'm happy to answer them. Any questions from anyone?
Okay, Gaurish, if people do not have any question, so we can close this webinar. I mean, more than 150 people I remember. Rahul has messaged how to deal with requirement change in waterfall.
Sorry, I did not get that. Where is it?
It's in a chat.
Okay, how do you deal with requirement changes in waterfall? Now, again, it depends at what timeline are you, encountering those changes, whether it is related to the same requirement or it's like altogether a new requirement. If it's about changing the existing, I mean, that is already developed and tested, then again, it would impact your timelines. So you will have to get an approval. Why are you changing it at the last moment, and what is the business justification, whether the BA has missed it, or the business, the requirements from the client itself did not come on proper time and they are changing, maybe because of some justified reason, governance project reasons, or maybe other reasons. So if that is the case, again, analysis has to be done. What would be the cost and timing for it, whether you would be able to accommodate in the first delivery timeline itself. If not, then you will have to take it as a change request and then you cater it later on. So depending upon the priority of that requirement, you will have to take the decision. And again, business approvals are needed. Why this was missed in the initial level, and if you are changing it, certainly it would impact time, cost, and fixing something takes more efforts at times. Whatever is changed, again, you have to go and analyze it, revert your code and other things. So it is completely situational, but then with business justification, it has to be taken up if your business is willing to pay. If not, take it as a change request and fix it later on as a new requirement or as a new change request. That's the best answer for this.
Hey, Gaurish, I just want to ask you one more thing.
Mhm.
Uh, would you mind suggesting me some of the free courses or something that I can probably, because I've already invested in data analysis.
Mhm.
So I just want that, if I can do some sort of understanding kind of thing, for BA. So if you could suggest me something like that.
Certainly, online things in BA, ideally it will never work out because they just focus on
Okay.
one part of it. Okay. As a
Okay.
BA, requirement gathering is one part where things are taught in a verbal manner. Okay. Very, very verbal
Mm-hmm.
at a very high level, no practical exposure. Now you document it with some sort of evidences like Word document or something. But the world
Mm-hmm.
has changed. People have moved towards agile and maybe using Scrum as a
Absolutely.
methodology.
Yeah.
So you will never ever find an online course which blends both of these things. It doesn't exist at all.
So
And the
what
point is, even if you
actually,
go
how
to
should we
any,
approach then
so
things?
it's a mixed thing. Like you need to know two, three things of it. Like knowing BA is
Okay.
one part, knowing Agile is one part, or maybe like how the requirements are traced in Agile, and
Mm-hmm.
doing it in agile fashion, like take a business case or maybe like business analysis as a practice and put it in implement it in agile fashion as a business analyst. So this will give you
Mm-hmm.
end-to-end thing, plus testing and some sort of SQL will also come into picture. So if you are
Okay.
able to integrate four components, then you become a business analyst. If you just go with doing an online course like I'm a business analyst, it will
Mm-hmm.
never work out into a job.
But I am not from any technical background, and even data analysis is,
Hmm.
a less of coding kind of thing, low code kind of
I
profession.
understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, how can I, be, I mean, even if I try to learn testing and all, but I think it's something very, very vast, and you
It's
should
not
be.
vast. That's why, like when you do real, like trainings with somebody who teaches you real time, then only you are able to understand. But then what happens is, like if you're taking some online sessions, when I say online, like Udemy and whatnot you call it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they work in a realistic manner.
All right.
I mean,
Got it.
that's the impression that I've done some of the trainings like in my office itself. Being
Mm-hmm.
office training, still they are still they lack the just that that they should be conveying as a part of the training involvement, I would say. You
Okay.
cannot just
Okay.
stick to the bookish things, right? You have to mix the practical aspect, do some assignments also at the same time, and then try to come up with your questions. So that gives you a more realistic sense.
Correct, correct. Yeah.
It
So,
generally
for
doesn't happen.
testing, would you suggest me something that I should, like I could just start with something,
Ideally, you can start initially with manual testing just for your understanding. If not,
okay.
then you can go for this thing, then automation testing. And if you
Uh-huh.
don't want to get into the coding part of it, I would suggest start with Scrum Master directly. I mean, that
All
would
right. All
altogether be
right.
a different direction, but then I think it should be doable from your side.
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
no problem. Yeah.
Any more question, any of you? Okay, so Karish, I think we can drop the session now. And thank you everyone for joining and have a wonderful time. I mean, again, no comments. We have got more than 150 interest. Okay, so Ashwini is asking, please let me know without any prior IT experience, how can we get a job as a BA or SM? Absolutely, there is no way to get a job. Either the one thing, to be very honest, without experience as a fresher. So first thing, Scrum Master is a leadership role, right, guys? So Scrum Master, I, if I, we are posting 100 requirement, out of them, single requirement comes for a Scrum Master as a fresher. That is a 1:100. And those are with the very small companies who do not know the Scrum Master role, because a Scrum Master is the person who deals with people of group of people of 9 to 11 people in the team. They could be experience of a 15 year, they could be experience of a 18 year, or might be 2 or 3 years. So that is the reason freshers sometimes not able to deal with those them. So that's the reason minimum 8 to 9 years of experience is expected. Or either you are pass out from any IIM or IIT, then definitely can go for a Scrum Master role. So for a fresher, I will not recommend. Why I'm saying this? Because I'm working as an agile coach, and I can comment on this. Being a BA, you can go, but there are very less opportunities for a BA for a freshers, right? I mean, there are a lot of institutions in the market who are teaching freshers, taking the money from them, and then those people are coming to us and asking that, do you have any group for a freshers for a BA? Please add me there, right? And they are struggling. So on a practical exposure, yes, it is a challenge, right? But yes, on in the market, you will go and you will find a lot of institutions are there. So these are two tough things. But Garish, if you would like to add anything here.
No, absolutely fine. For freshers, I don't think BA is recommended, and Scrum Master, not at all. Not at all. I mean, even as a BA, you can do it, but then again, the job aspect is very less. I mean, like just out of 10 jobs, there would be hardly one job. So not at all recommended for somebody who is not having experience at all. Yeah. But then I think the question that Ashwin has asked, he's from a different background. Is it? Are you having some sort of experience, maybe in different background? Is it? If that is the case, then we can tweak it. That could be taken up. But complete fresher, then the answer is no. I mean, not recommended. So if you're from some other experience, then yeah, we can do it. Okay. Okay, Hitesh, I think this is from my side. Maybe we can simply close the call. I think the audience is pretty low today. So yeah, I think people don't have much questions also.
Yep, sure, Garish. And even in the morning, we have done, I mean, you won't believe, we have done one Jira and Confluence training. The same trainer who is with Refer Me Group is charging 28,000 rupees for this training, and with Refer Me Group, he was agreed to give it at 10,000 rupees, right? And people came and very few nomination. And this is a usual trend. I mean, sometimes people struggle that why I'm not getting a call, but 90% people I have seen since we are doing the training, we share till now 7,000 job, which doesn't mean that 7,000 people have placed, right? I mean, how many people they have taken the advantage of those job, I seriously don't know. And people say that there is a no job in the market. Even I don't believe there is a downtime in the market. There is absolutely always people are required. Only the challenge is we have not upgraded ourselves. People are looking for sometimes free courses. I mean, again, I'm not pointing anyone. Sometimes free courses, sometimes low cost courses which impact their career. Again, this forum was free, but people have not spoken up. So that is your call. But we know what we are doing, helping others. So thank you so much, Gaurish, and thank you, Snehal, and thank you everyone for joining. Have a wonderful time. Bye bye.
Thanks all. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Bye.